Hello and welcome to my channel. I hope you all are doing well and good as well. So today we are going to cover another topic of human resource management, that is employee testing and selection. This is one of the major topic in any HR field, if I can say. We have already discussed about what is HRM, why HRM is important. Then we have covered different topics about recruitment and planning, that why planning is important, why recruitment, that process is important. Now, right now we are going to go in depth that what is employee testing and how employee selection is important aspect. So let's start with our today's discussion. By this chapter, you are going to cover, or this chapter will be including the following things, that is reliability and validity of a test, then how to go and validate a test. There are some different testing guidelines we'll discuss in detail. Then there are some ethical and legal consideration in testing, like how you being an employer are legally and ethically bind to do something in terms of testings. Then there are different employee selection methods. There are 8 methods, so we'll discuss in detail that what are that. Last but not the least, how to conduct a background investigation. We'll cover in this topic. Okay, let's move further. Okay, so now the first main question is why careful selection is important. अगर हमने सिलेक्शन सही नहीं की होगी तो इससे क्या नुकसान आते हैं, क्या ऐसा होगा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को, क्या नुकसान है कि हमारी अगर सिलेक्शन सही नहीं है, अगर वी हैव हायर्ड द रॉन्ग पर्सन और वी हैव मे बी हमसे मे बी कोई फॉल्ट हो गई, कोई गलती हो गई है, मे बी हमने नेग्लिजेंट हायरिंग कर ली है. सो व्हाट वुड बी द cause of that, what could be the element an organization needs to face, sometimes what's the cost of that, because again recruitment and selection is a really rigorous process. It's a really tiring and long process. We all have to go with everything and in detail, so it's really costly. And also there are legal obligations that could happen if you are going to go with negligent hiring. So let's talk. Number one, the importance of selecting the right employee. Definitely, ये sentence, ये element कोई भी miss नहीं कर सकता. Right employee will be asset of the organization. If you are hiring the right person for the right job at the right time, again, that's the part of HR. Being an HR manager, that's your job. That's you need to see, you need to scrutinize, you need to be very careful in terms of your hiring, because definitely it's going to affect your performance. And if long term में organizational performance affect होगी, organizational efficiency affect होगी, and your all work will be dependent on that. Also, again, जिस तरह हमने अभी कहा, hiring and this recruitment process is long, it's really tiring, it's costly. You have a lot of cost. Maybe you have advertised somewhere, maybe you have asked CV, maybe you have like maybe pool of candidates के लिए आपने, maybe you have referred to third party like executive recruiters के through आपने data किया, maybe you have gone towards different websites, different social media, LinkedIn hiring. So again, it depends at what time period. Maybe it's not just the money of like the financial monetary money, it's also the time you have like inculcated in that. So again, that's really precious. Also, there are some legal obligations, legal bindings in terms of incompetent or negligent hiring that could lead to, because while going for any position, for any hiring, you need to follow equal employment opportunity. If you are discriminating anyone on maybe race, gender, caste, or you can say ethnicity, so again, this can be leads to any maybe legal implication. Also, negligent hiring, that you did not go or did not do the proper reference, that background check of that person, and he was like maybe part of any, you can say illegal or sometimes organizations, or he had done something wrong and you have not properly investigated his background, so that can be a loss of the organization's name as well. बिकॉज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का जहाँ का नाम जुड़ता है उसके साथ, तो ऑब्वियसली ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की भी इसके अंदर एक कहीं ना कहीं इट कुड बी डिफेम, सो यू नीड टू बी बिग केयरफुल इन दैट एस्पेक्ट एज वेल. Then comes how to avoid negligent hiring. Well, how one can do, how can, these are some basic techniques. These are some, like, if you do this, you can avoid this negligent hiring. And number one, scrutinize information applied by the candidate on his or her employment application. Whatever that person is typing, writing, and sending to you, please scrutinize them. Being an HR manager, it's your responsibility. Now, right now, you are studying this HRM course to have a better understanding, and you have to think like an HR manager or HR personnel कि हमारी क्या responsibilities है. For example, अगर मेरे से गलती होगी, किसी को मैंने उसकी information scrutinize नहीं की, properly check नहीं की, उसके reference check, उसके background checks, information जो उसने दी मैंने उसको सही तरह दोबारा उसको maybe verify नहीं किया, तो again that's mistake on my part. Being a manager, being a HR personnel, it's my duty to check each and every this background. Okay, sometimes we reject applicants who make false statements of material facts or who have conviction records for offenses. Like again, if someone has done something wrong in the past, चोरी की, organization ने निकाला हुआ है, maybe terminated हुआ हुआ है. Termination could be of any, मतलब किसी भी तरह की termination हो सकती है. It could be something related to could be miscommitment हो गई, behavioral issues हैं, sexual harassment है, maybe anything else. So you need to be very much firm, and either you are going to say no or either you're going to accept that person. So again, you need to be having very clear policies and rule on that. Also, you need to know that what it is going on. Whatever is, like, if you want to ask something in detail from the person, do ask that. Again, you don't have to, like, maybe disrespect or damage that person's information. You just need to keep it very personal. For example, if a person is a drug addict and you get to know from his history, from his profile, you don't have to tell others, or you don't have to disclose. You, being an HR person, the foremost thing is privacy, secrecy, confidential. Keep everything private and confidential. That data is confidential. That's why that's been shared with you. Last but not the least, if you find something that's not actually right or legally or ethically correct, arise a problem or take it immediately to upper management. So this was about negligent hiring. Now, these are some of the basic testing concepts. Before starting with the testing, that what is testing, what are the methods, what are the types, first we need to understand what is reliability and what is test validity. Reliability, as the word says, कितना reliable है, क्या चीज कितनी reliable है, consistent है. For example, अगर मैं किसी चीज को 2 दफा टेस्ट करती हूँ तो उसका टेस्ट स्कोर अगर सेम आता है या थोड़ा बहुत डिफरेंस आता है, I could say, for example, अगर मैंने कोई टेस्ट करवाया किसी लैब से, किसी भी लेबोरेटरी से, अगर मैं एक दफा टेस्ट कराती हूँ तो डेफिनेटली उसका रिजल्ट आता है एक सेम. थोड़े एक दोनों दिन के बाद आऊँ तो वो रिजल्ट में भी थोड़ा सा चेंज हो, तो सेम कुड भी अगर हम कोई टेस्ट देते हैं, कूल का कोई टेस्ट देते हैं, एंट्री टेस्ट देते हैं, तो रिलायबिलिटी की उसके अंदर कितनी रिलायबिलिटी है या नहीं है. ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम सेम रिजल्ट केम्स इन फ्रॉम सेम पर्सन और आइदर इट्स नॉट स्टेबल. सो अगेन रिलायबिलिटी. टेस्ट वैलिडिटी इज समथिंग कि हमारा जो टेस्ट को हम जिसको करना चाह रहे हैं, टेस्ट वेरीफाई करना चाह रहे हैं, वो कितना एक्यूरेट है, जो उसके मेजर्स हैं जिसको हम आइडेंटिफाई कर रहे हैं, जो हमारे क्राइटेरिया है, एक्चुअली वो हमारा वाकई में रेलेवेंट है या नहीं. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ आई एम गोइंग टू टेस्ट टेस्ट अ कैंडिडेट, तो अगर टेस्ट अ कैंडिडेट ऑन व्हाट बेसिस, मैं किस डिपार्टमेंट के लिए कर रही हूँ, फॉर एग्जांपल इट्स फॉर HR डिपार्टमेंट, तो मैं उसकी HR नॉलेज, HR स्किल्स, HR कॉम्पिटेंसी, आई एम गोइंग टू टेस्ट दैट. सो आई नीड टू सी जो मेरा अपना टेस्ट बनाया हुआ है, if it's a written test or it's oral test, whatsoever test I'm going to take, it should be in relevance with that. That's how I'm going to check my test validity. Either it's designed to fulfill my purpose or it's not according to what I was going to go for or test for. This is basically a picture. This is a sample picture for the test that is called thematic appreciation test. In this, you can see there are 2 pictures. So there is one lady, that's young lady, and there is an old lady. Now, how you interpret this picture from, if I talk about being an interviewer, I ask the interview, okay, this is the picture, kindly write it about, or kindly tell me what you can see, or kindly explain this. So definitely everybody will be having a different explanation. Everybody will be explaining in his or her maybe interpretations. So you cannot draw conclusions about the personality through this. This could be one way of doing, but maybe this is not the actual way. So again, while going for any test validity, we need to see कि कितना valid है test या नहीं है, because वही बात है, हर picture के दो sides होती हैं. What side you are perceiving, what side you are thinking or going for, आपको देखना है. तो again, हम will discuss further कि एक टेस्ट लेना बेहतर है या मल्टीपल टेस्ट लेना या मे बी कॉम्बिनेशंस ऑफ टेस्ट लेना, तो विल डिस्कस. Okay, now these are some types of validity. Number one is criterion validity and number second is content validity. The word criteria means criteria क्या हमारा. For example, मेरा job performance में what is my criteria? Either I feel कि 80% वाला good है या 75% वाला good है. So I need to have some criteria. So a type of validity based on showing that scores of the test are related to job performance. अगेन मेरा क्राइटेरिया उसके साथ मैच कर रहा है या नहीं कर रहा. जिस तरह मैंने पहले कहा, मैंने क्राइटेरिया रखा था कि मुझे एचआर के लोग चाहिए. तो जो एचआर के लोग, जो एचआर के स्टूडेंट्स हैं या ग्रेजुएट्स हैं, आइदर दे आर मीटिंग विद माय क्राइटेरिया और नॉट. तो टेस्ट के व्हाटएवर लाइक स्कोर्स उनके जो आ रहे हैं, जब वो करेंगे, दे आर मैचिंग विद देयर परफॉर्मेंस. सो इट्स बेसिकली द टेस्ट प्रेडिक्टर्स आर रिलेटेड टू द जॉब परफॉर्मेंस. Okay, that's criterion validity. Next one is content validity. Now the content, again, जो उसका टास्क है, जो स्किल्स हैं, वो एक्चुअली वो काम कर रहा है या नहीं कर रहा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर लेट्स स्टार्ट विद एन एग्जाम्पल. एक एम्प्लॉय ने कहीं टेस्ट दिया और उसने कहा कि भाई ठीक है, यू आर मीटिंग द क्राइटेरिया बट नॉट दैट मच. वो नॉट दैट मच कहाँ से आया? You need to see the skills, the task that has person have performed. This is an example. Does the test question in this course relate to HR management core topics? So definitely, अगर मैं कोई test लूँगी, अगर for example this is HRM course, so my test would be irrelevant or in according to this HRM. It won't be related to maybe supply chain or maybe marketing, because this is not the content validity. The content of this course is HR. That's why I'm going to keep it to that content. मैं उसी को mind में रखते हुए I'll go with the in terms of any test. Now how to validate a test? There are different methods, because वही बात है जो हम selection test है, this is really very important and useful. You need to be very fair कि आपके test scores relate कर रहे हैं. There should not be any discrepancy or difference between all of these. So one needs to see that what they are going to do. So first of all, there are different steps you need to follow. Number one is analyze the job. That what is the job about? दूसरा हमने पहले पिछली साइड में बात की थी predictors and criterions की. This one criterion validity में. तो सबसे पहले हमें job specification देखनी, knowledge, skills, abilities and other characteristics. Either whatever we are going to match उस बंदे की जो job analyze हम कर रहे हैं, job description है, specifications है, human traits है. Whatever traits we require, either they are matching with that or not. For example, if I said I need a marketing personnel, a marketing manager. So definitely his education, his experience, his skills would be related to that particular position. So I need to analyze the whole job. So after going through the whole job criteria, I will be evaluating the test. How I need to see that what type of test I'm going to choose. Now there are two options, test battery or single test. The test battery means multiple or different tests, like in a combination or in like variety of it, and single test. So it's basically while choosing for the attributes, while choosing for any job success or any job analysis or this analyzing the job for this validity, we always combine different tests. Like better होता है, for example मैंने कहा मैं written test भी लूँगी, मैं interview भी लूँगी, maybe followed by a psychological test, whatsoever it needs of the organization I need to see, and then आप उसको combine, you combine together and then you take a test. and then you choose accordingly. Sometimes they have different methods. जिसमें हमने देखा होगा कि different organization different methods के साथ जाती हैं एक टेस्ट के अलावा एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट हो गया ना यूनिवर्सिटी में अगर आपने अप्लाई किया in terms of admissions first you have written this aptitude test and then they had an interview and then selection जो final आपके जो list आती है in terms of candidate list लगती है तो वो you can go with that. So again choice of test.